Rum historically came from the Caribbean. In the early colonial period, the water wasn't really safe to drink. If you drank a lot of it, you were going to get sick, and they were very spiritual people, so they thought, you're sick, you must have the devil inside you. They made this new spirit. They thought it would actually kill that devil inside you.
We experimented making salt on vacations with our son. Moving back to Hatteras, we kind of ran with it when we moved back, and we just haven't stopped since.
I started surfing as probably a 12-year-old. There's the custom surfboard market. The people come in, talk to the shaper, and a lot of times it's getting that perfect shape they want, but then it's the artwork. The art has become a big part of surfboard building.
This rum that was being distilled in the Caribbean had to come right by our shores here. And when you came by the Outer Banks, you had to go by Diamond Shoals. Because of that, a lot of ships wrecked right here on the coast. Barrels of rum would wash ashore, and the biggest hill where people would hide rum barrels when they find them became Big Kill Devil Hill. So if you read really any rum history book, it's gonna start with the birth of Kill Devil. And we wanted to bring that alive.
We started making salt as a homeschool project with our son probably about 12 or 13 years ago. And since then, we've just taken an experiment to hobby to our job. And it's just been a really fun process of learning about sea salt.
We've had to come up with many different ways to get the salt. We get beautiful ocean water here with not much human runoff. Even on islands like in Hawaii, they have water hazards.
After I met Mickey McCarthy as a kid in high school and got my first custom board from New Sun, by 10th grade, I was on the team, and that was a milestone to be on the surf team. Mickey started saying, Roscoe, I think you'd be good at sanding. He actually wanted me to be the sander. The next spring, I told my uncle I wasn't going to work for him anymore. I was going to try getting into surfboard building. And over the years, I slowly learned how to do every single step.
We're very adamant that everything that we do here is done by us. So we don't pre-buy any liquor. We do our own fermentation on site.
So what we do is we'll get in our boat that we've created to collect water, go out into the inlet, pump water into a 275-gallon tote, then filter it through a 3-part filtration system, pump it into the houses, into small pans, and let the sun do its work.
The process of building a board, surfboard, is you start out with the foam blank. That's where the shaper comes in. And if you become a shaper, you're the mystical man that you're creating that board that's going to ride perfect on the waves and all that.
Our fermentation time takes about a week here. We take it to 10% alcohol. Once it hits that point, then we're ready to send it over to our still.
Basically, it's about a month and a half from the ocean to a pouch. So that month to a month and a half, depending on the time of the year, depending on storms and weather, is our evaporation time. From there, the salt will form and drop, and then that's when I go and I rake the salt up and put it aside, wash it, and then hang it to dry.
Sometimes they get airbrushed, so there's always an art guy that knows how to spray paint very well. Then they go to the glassing room. Glassing has a bunch of steps, but you start out by laminating the bottom of the board generally, then the top, then a sanding coat is applied with a brush.
We're in production 7 days a week. It comes off our still at 180 proof. It's blended on site with reverse osmosis water. And once we get it down to 80 proof, at that point, then we send it over to our bottling line. And everything is bottled here on site as well.
I'll take the dried and clean salt and bring it into our Department of Agriculture approved packaging room. And from there, I will break it down and add organic herbs and spices. And yeah, just package it and then get ready for either a vendor or a market or online sales.
You can see all the drips, resins everywhere. We have to change this floor once a year. But that's where all the stinky wet work is done.
We have used everything from tequila barrels, we have scotch barrels back here, different types of wine barrels. We have mezcal barrels we're coming out with. It's pretty interesting, the different flavor nuances that we can get out of just having all these different barrels. This building was built in 1946. It was originally built as a furniture store. It sat empty. We came in, we bought it, gutted the whole thing, and rebuilt it as you see today.
I've been collecting wood from houses falling in, decks falling in the ocean. All the wood you see here is wood from that has floated by. All the metal poles that bend on these hoop houses are all from a top rail of a chain link fence.
When I get slow in the off season, I'll take broken surfboards and turn them into sculptures. And I make fish, like wall hangable fish, and I use broken in half surfboard. I jigsaw and cut it out a funny fish shape. It's just kind of cool because it's repurposing, recycling, and reuse.
The Wheelhouse Lounge is our cocktail bar inside there. In that lounge, you're surrounded by authentic shipwreck pieces of the Outer Banks. Right when you walk in our building, right in front of you is going to be the ship's wheel from the wreck of the Irma. It wrecked in Kill Devil Hills in 1925. Our mantle behind the bar is from 1652. It was from the HMS John. It's a British warship that wrecked here on the Outer Banks as well.
It is pretty cool to set your own hours. We used to close the doors in the earlier years and put Gone Surfing. We were proud to hang that Gone Surfing sign right on the door. I mean, I think the customers expect you to go surfing. Becoming a surfer was a highlight of my life because it did give me, I felt like I was a member of a special tribe. And nowadays, everyone's a surfer, though. It's not as cool as it was when I was in high school.
The health benefits of the sea salt is something that is just intriguing, and grateful just to be in a place that we can utilize the natural source of the ocean water.
Supporting local helps us stay out here. You know, when you do buy something at a store, it's great to come to one of us who live here.
I felt very lucky to get to move here at a young age and be really accepted by the community and be immersed in the culture and the community of this place. When people are enjoying our product, I really want them to have the feeling that they're a part of the Outer Banks. We want you to know you're drinking this, you're a part of us too, you're a part of our family.
I feel blessed in being in a small area like the Outer Banks, where lots of people know me. I think I'll always at least be the ding man for the area. I know I gripe a lot, but when I retire, I think I'm still gonna have me a setup with like a barn in my yard or something, and I'm still gonna fix all the surfers around here as surfboards. If I'm looking forward to anything, it's surfing more, working less, and still keeping my fingers in surfboards on some level, even if it's just fixing them.